Hello, I must say, I'm sort of warming to the theme of Liz Truss as a prospective Prime Minister. I mean, I don't like the idea, but I'm warming to some sort of themes in it. Shakespearean themes, maybe. Doom. We're in the beginnings of Act One or Act Two. Um, I've been having a quick look at Antony and Cleopatra. Uh, this time last year, I was rifling through The Tempest, which is such a dull play, but Antony and Cleopatra is one of the great plays. It really is a great play, and I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that Liz Truss is a Cleopatra. For God's sake, no. I mean, nor am I suggesting that, like Cleopatra, she is to be identified as a triple-turd whore. Cleopatra famously found her way up the political ladder by bedding various Roman dignitaries like Pompey and Mark Antony and, of course, Julius Caesar. But Liz Truss, of course, has changed party to her advantage from the CND sort of socialism to the Liberal Party and then to the Conservative Party and indeed to the hard right of the Conservative Party. So from that point of view, maybe there is scope. Maybe there is scope. But I'm more interested in the portrayal of another character in Antony and Cleopatra, a minor character. But Shakespeare does seem to love his minor characters. I'm thinking of Octavia, who's described as low-voiced in Cleopatra. It's sort of Act 3, Scene 3, line 13 or 14 or something, and Cleopatra says, "Oh, well, that's not good. Antony cannot like her long." And I was thinking, the low voice thing, because Liz Truss's voice has certainly changed. She's clearly had acting lessons, and it's not only like Mrs. Thatcher clearly had acting lessons under Rees. He got her to lower her voice by almost an octave. It was quite shrill at times when she got very excited in a speech, and she got very fast, and so he slowed her down. And she went to a very specific coach who then worked for, I think, Central, and she took very precise exercises. I've seen the sort of exercises. I know the sort of exercises she would have done. A lot of humming, and she dropped her voice. She was very dutiful in the exercise she did, but clearly Liz Truss found more favour with the hand exercises. You know, this sort of this puppet-like hand gesture that she's got, or that she's acquired, along with the new voice, along with the "let me be clear." The problem is that Liz Truss, actually, she's not the only one to have got these hand gestures. Priti Patel has also got them. She got them a while ago, but her hand gestures are much smaller. I suppose if they're comparing fish or something, Priti Patel's fish are quite small, whereas Liz Truss's fish are humongous. It's this big. It's this big. And Priti Patel says, well, it's sort of it's about 8 inches, 9 inches or so. And but the real problem with Liz Truss is that she hasn't slowed down. Now, Mrs. Thatcher famously slowed her speech, and this would have given her an opportunity to think before she opened her mouth. Liz Truss doesn't have that. Doesn't have that satisfaction. What goes through the brain comes straight out of the mouth without any sort of filter. And she therefore makes mistake after mistake after mistake. I would encourage her to slow down. And so drop the voice lower and slow down. So even if you're low voiced, it worked for Mrs. Thatcher because she also cultivated this strange sort of frown on the top part of the face and smile on the bottom part of the face, which so sort of captivating in a way. She, this contrast of emotions, the sort of thing that Stanislavski was recommending Mrs. Thatcher was doing on a daily basis. I don't see that in Liz Truss. There isn't that sort of contrast. Well, anyway, who am I to judge there? Well, of course I am judging. And the problem is that I think in this particular case, The audience, the electorate is going to react a little bit like Anthony. It's not good. He cannot like her long, and I'm afraid all this spit and polish, all this stuff with the hand gestures and the voice and the acting lessons, they're for naught really, because she hasn't dealt with the central core. There is nothing there, and she might have done the acting lessons, but she hasn't read the words she's got to say. And so she stumbles around. Just listen for the stumbles. And the stumbles don't even suggest that she's thinking. I'm always criticised for saying and all over the place. My partner is horrified every time I say because in Turkish is quite a rude word. Maybe that's what Priti Patel is measuring. But I have no idea really. What are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do when we go into politics? Because it is clearly a form of public speaking. It is clearly a form of performance art. But if you don't have the brain to go with the performance, if you can't think on your feet and show the audience that you are thinking, that I think is the purpose of and It's thought moment. Thought moment. You can see the thoughts are going through the head. But there isn't thought going through the head of Liz Truss. It's sloganizing, repeating the same slogans again and again and again, like a Dalek. Oh, it's sad, it's sad. Not that I'm saying Antony and Cleopatra should be replaced with Daleks. I have immortal longings in me. I have immortal longings. Immortal longings. Ah! There we are.